All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope y'all are having a good day so far. So, I had a request to check out this video here from Thinking Basketball, and it is titled, How Will Luka and LeBron Fit Together? This is from just a couple of days ago, so very valid for what is about to come. And I think this is actually the biggest conversation of debate when it comes to next year's Lakers. I mean, outside of all the clown, the circus acts from LeBron. But I mean, from my point of view, this is Luka's year to just dominate. However, with LeBron in the mix, you have to question it, because LeBron, even though he stated recently that he's working on playing off the ball, I mean, you don't think he's going to do that without, he's already drawn attention to it. You know what I mean? It's basically trying to make it a point that everybody knows, because we got Luka, I have to learn how to play a different way, kind of thing. So I can't imagine it'll be a healthy relationship in the locker room. But also with LeBron in the starting lineup, I'm not sure that's going to do Luka any favors either. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I think we're all curious, even though, my job, it's the Lakers. So now that Luka is a Laker, I'm rooting against him. It is what it is, and I will, as long as he plays for the Lakers. Oh, boy. But let's see what Thinking Basketball has to say about it, because I'm sure he's got some more intricate things, I'm more into the psychology of how this is going to fit, but as far as a basketball point of view, my only issue is there's only one ball for them to share. They're both incredibly ball dominant players. I believe Luka could play better off the ball than LeBron could, just because Luka is more of a pure shooter. But whatever, we'll see what they're gonna do. Anyways, you guys, as I always do, I'm linking the original video from Thinking Basketball down below in the description of this video. You'll also see a list of channel members. Shout out channel members, I appreciate you guys. Let's get into it, guys. Like the video, hit that hype button if you could. It helps the video perform, and let's go.
The Luka Doncic trade was so big, so shocking, that the basketball side of the equation was almost an afterthought. How would Luka fit next to another ball-dominant player in LeBron? And how would LeBron fit around one of the great pick-and-roll players ever? Let's look at how JJ Redick used them at the end of the 2025 season to give us some idea of what this offense might look like in 2026.
Nice pass.
One of their primary ideas was using Luka as an initiator around the elbow area. We've talked about the Nuggets' pet play before, where Jokic catches it at the elbow while Jamal Murray sets a back screen, and there are a ton of options out of this action that are hard to guard. And Redick loves this action, so they'll have Luka catch it at the elbow and LeBron set the back screen for Austin Reeves. And oh man, Luka can make these insane passes to the entire floor, reading that the corner defender's pulled way over to help, so he Jokic's it to the corner for a clean look. LA's offensive stars are all extremely cerebral, so when the Grizzlies overplay one side of the screen here, Austin Reeves cuts the other way, Luka makes a beautiful pass, and
nice.
Reeves instantly moves it to the corner, and that is lovely.
Hold on.
Luka makes a beautiful pass, and Reeves
Yeah. The rotation makes sense.
instantly moves it to the corner, and that is lovely. And the best part of this might be when everyone stays with their man well, which gives Doncic a bunch of space to isolate and collapse the defense, and that's another great extra pass by Reeves. The key to this is that an elite decision maker is put in a powerful spot to make choices. Here, Luka IDs the mismatch for LeBron, tells Reeves in case he wasn't sure, and then you get another all-time decision maker in a similar spot who can bend the defense, and then it comes back to a wide-open Doncic who's over 40% on these shots. They also have a play.
One thing I'm always surprised is when LeBron identifies a mismatch like this, you'd expect him to get in the block, you know what I mean, and start posting the guy up instead of trying to post him from the 3-point line.
tells Reeves in case he wasn't sure, and then you get another all-time decision maker in a similar spot who can bend the defense, and then it comes back to a wide open Doncic who's over 40% on these shots. They also have a play with Luka at the elbow where Reeves sets a screen for LeBron on the block, and teams don't want to switch it, so it creates openings like this. And because Luka and LeBron read the game so well, we can get the mind meld from the student and the master. When LeBron's defender turns to stop him from using the screen, LeBruca knows what to do, and suddenly it's a layup. And this gets really fun when Reeves sets that pick for James just to sneak out the other side to the corner, and he's over 40% on a shot like that too. They just have so many options out of these three-man actions because of how good they all are. And so if you take away that corner three option, Reeves just flows into a dribble handoff, and oops, there's a mismatch for LeBron. Houston tries to scramble behind the play, and the Lakers can just flow right into a Luka Doncic pick and roll game, and he can attack a defense from that position. So the Lakers had a handful of pet plays with a bunch of wrinkles to go to in these spots, and sticking Luka at the elbow unlocks the entire floor, especially with LeBron's IQ away from the ball. Sometimes they'll bust out the old flex offense where Rui Hachimura is the first option at the rim here. Then LeBron sets the down screen for Reeves, and if the defense switches like this, Luka goes right to the mismatch. James actually misses the lob there, but don't worry, that opens up the corner skip pass, and Rui was flame-throwing these threes last year. LA will also throw it to Luka in the post, and he can read the floor from there too.
Okay, I think I got to start giving Luka some more credit as far as his passing abilities go.
And they run involves a nasty little back
Just
screen.
saying it out loud.
Reeves sets for LeBron. Then he flies off a second screen up top where he can either shoot or attack if they overplay the lob.
I mean, to be fair though,
Second screen up
moving screen
top where he can either shoot or attack.
like you can't lean in like that, and no. But I mean, that's how the space was created there.
If they overplay the lob. And this is a similar idea to putting him at the elbow, only when the court turns sideways, and if the defense doesn't send enough help, it's pretty easy for him to score.
Yeah, good post.
And of course, when he has a big size mismatch and the defense finally sends help, then Luka's gonna Luka.
Oh my.
Oh, the NBA is back, and that means live games are here. And of course, SeatGeek is the app that lets us see any of these games that we want in person, like Slender Luka and the Lakers opening.
Wait, what were those prices like?
These games that we want in person, like
Oh my God. $300 into nosebleeds. Wow.
Slender Luka and the Lakers opening the season against the Warriors. Are we going to a game this season? I mean, one of us might be going, yeah. Well, I don't want to go alone. Anyway, let's see when Victor Wembanyama's coming to town, or Amen Thompson, or you can pretty much catch your favorite player. Oh boy, Ausar Thompson. Don't forget Denny Avdia. I know, right? There are so many exciting players and teams this season.
Okay, so Clippers not nearly as popular, and the Pistons also, I guess. $54 for a nosebleed. That's doable. That's doable.
And SeatGeek has over 70,000 listed events from sports to concerts. Their tickets are rated from 1 to 10 and color-coded. So when you see the green dot, you know that's a good deal. You can preview the view from your seat. And of course, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And what about the deal for the viewers? Get a 10% discount with the code Thinking10. Click the link in the description below, and that'll automatically load the code into your account to use later. That's code Thinking10 for that 10% discount, and that's also just a great way to support Thinking Basketball. Their other 6'8" future Hall of Famer is deadly in the exact same spots. So when that back screen action is defended well, LeBron just slips it to the screener for the stuff. So James can play from the elbow too, although Luka isn't the same cutter he is away from the ball. Either way, there's just a ton of interchangeability in these three-man actions they love, and that's another great extra pass by Austin Reaves. One of the reasons this works so well with Luka initiating is because James's cutting off ball is so good. He's still such an explosive finisher and an elite extra passer on the move. So LA maximizes their offense with him as a finisher in these spots because Reaves and especially Doncic can play make, but only LeBron can fly in from the outside like this. Look at this tight inbounds pass by Luka, where LeBron feels pressure, so he sprays it out, and finally Reaves pops into a movement triple. And a minute later, they swing it over to Luka. He plays the pick and roll game with Reaves, who then ball fakes because he feels the L train coming down the tracks.
Ooh,
that was yet another.
Wait, did he get an N1 on that?
Because he feels the L train coming down the tracks.
He did.
Tracks. That was yet another great extra pass by Austin, and he's not even the best extra passer on the team. LeBron's really good out of that short roll situation or just in dynamic situations as the ball's being swung around the perimeter. So if Reaves or Doncic find a mismatch in early...
Hold on. Okay. Wow, two guys are unguarded at this moment. I'm just trying to look at Boston's defense here.
As the ball's being...
Oh, and we just abandoned the post here. What is this?
Swung around the...
Like, how can you do that? You've got two guys. So we had three guys down low. Now we got two guys up on the perimeter, but you want to creep up here, and you're wide open. I'm sorry. We have three guys on the perimeter.
So if Reaves or Doncic find a mismatch in early offense, they can go to work, and it's still a good shot or passing clinic to continue the advantage.
I think he traveled.
The Lakers actually create a lot of issues in early offense because of all the potential mismatches.
Sorry, half of the things I'm saying in this are just what a pass because of Luka. Man.
So Zach Edey's sentenced to Luka Island here. The Lakers just space out and get out of his way, and if no one comes to help, Luka's going to add him to his hunting collection. And look at how subtle this little breakdown is. Jalen Wells calls for the switch, but Ja Morant actually needs to pick up the wing, and then Wells needs to sprint over and pick up Luka. So with at least two of these players out there, it's harder for defenses to avoid mismatches. LeBron misses another lob. What is going on?
Yeah, but this is bad though. Like everyone had eyes on LeBron. I mean, everybody has eyes on LeBron right now. Everybody. That's just bad defense, you guys. Like, know your assignment.
But they still get good offense because the passing extends the advantage.
Yeah, oh, man. And then again, why are you guarding the post at this point? Why are you in there? It's too many rotations at this point. You know, I'm starting to miss man-to-man a little bit because these little mishaps don't usually happen. You get burned, but, you get burned if you can't keep up. However, you don't get these wide open shots coming out of nowhere.
This group also shines in all-out transition with Luka's passing and LeBron's finishing.
Nice bounce.
Even at 40, James is still one of the best transition players on the planet. And Luka's not a speed demon, but he's so good at recognizing advantages and then making the right play. With LeBron and Luka on the floor, the Lakers would actually have the most efficient transition offense in the NBA. Also, look at this recognition from a middle-aged man sprinting behind the play in a 2-on-3, and Luka sees him the whole way. And where LeBruca really mind melds is with outlet passes as James runs out in front of the action. Remember, LeBron used to throw these to Anthony Davis, only he's capable of playing the AD role, while Luka plays quarterback and throws touchdowns the length of the court. And I love how the big gives it to Doncic so he can find LeBron flying down the floor. We know Luka's one of the all-time great pick and roll players, and including his handoff actions, he was at league high rates back in Dallas. And even last year without Kyrie Irving was running over 70 of these per 100 possessions. And when LeBron goes to the bench, he's still approaching 60 per 100. But with LeBron, Luka's under 40 pick and rolls or handoffs per 100, which would rank 53rd in the league behind players like Franz Wagner and Mike Conley. Now, some of that decline is simply the nature of sharing the court with players who can attack mismatches and stress defenses with passing too. And there's certainly a your turn, my turn.
There's certain things, and I know I'm going to piss people off on this video, but there's certain things I can't overlook. Look at the matchup here. Steph Curry, and you got LeBron James, giant LeBron James. How are you going to ditch the ball in this situation? You have every advantage over Steph Curry, and he's not even a good defender. And I mean, the size advantage is obvious. I would kill for this aside, like for this matchup. This matchup should never happen. And it should never happen because every time LeBron is in a matchup like this, he should exploit that matchup. And then everyone will make sure, okay, we don't do that with LeBron. You put a little guy on LeBron, he's going to kill you.
Fences with passing too. And there's certainly a
that was a good play. That was a good play, but are we going to credit the pass?
Matches.
You know, we see the matchup. He's going to make the pass.
Stress defenses.
Immediately contested, right? So do we call it a good pass, or do we say, nice play, nice play?
Passing too. And there's certainly a your turn, play. My turn thing they have going with whoever has the better matchup on any given possession. Yet even then, it's not always the vanilla pick and roll. The big switch is to Luka, but they're running a 3-man action with a second screen that pulls the shot blocker out.
Look at all these switches. This is where these advantages are coming in. Because see, the second, hold on.
But they're running a 3-man action with a second screen that pulls the shot.
Right there, this switch is gonna create a gap for Luka to exploit. If you just stayed right on him, he's got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to go. You chase behind, stay on your man.
Shot blocker out.
No, but there's the switch, and he's exploiting it by splitting it right down the middle.
Paint, and they foul to save an easy layup. And this is more high IQ stuff from Doncic.
Yeah, it is.
Since he knows they're switching all these screens, sees Ivica Zubac turn his head, then immediately drives toward him, and that's a picture-perfect way to attack a switch.
That's exactly how I would teach or exploit that kind of a switch too. Like, you shouldn't be playing that lazy on me.
LeBron's not the one-man offense Luka is at this point in his career, so it makes sense that they'll fall back on Doncic's ball dominance more. Luka's obviously not the cutter that LeBron is either, but if he's more active away from the ball this year, that brings an extra dimension to the offense when Reeves or James initiate actions. Remember, LA...
Again, and this is one of those cases nobody knows their assignment.
Offense when Reeves...
Okay, so if the two of you know what to do on this pick, then this doesn't happen. But nobody knows. Nobody knows what they're doing right now. So watch.
James initiate.
You got this? Nope. They're both staying on LeBron. You can't. That's why are you doing that? There's no switch. There's no communication on who's staying with LeBron and who's switching. Or I mean, who are we switching or are we not switching? Essentially, it's as simple as that. Instead, you assumed a switch. Harden, you assume no switch. And we have a wide open situation right here.
Actions. Remember, LA finished 15-8 with Doncic and LeBron in the lineup, and the offense was 5 points ahead of league average, which would have been a top 5 offense last season. So as long as this defense can tread water, the Lakers are set up for a very strong 2026 season. To support us, patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. We are back kicking off our coverage of the 2025-26 season for members. We will start spinning up those videos shortly as well. Thanks for all your support over the summer. Let us know in the comments what you want to see us cover to start this year. Thanks for watching, and as always, hope you're having a great day.
Man, I mean, this video pointed out a couple of cool things. By the way, this was recommended that I watch. And I'm not sure I'm delivering what was expected, but I'm delivering whatever is, like, honest here for me. So sorry, but it is what it is. it showed me a couple of things. One, I knew Luka was a good passer. He's a really good passer, you guys. I think it's time I really give him credit for passing. Two, even though Luka's had struggles with staying in shape, the dude is brilliant on the court. Like, because the thing is, you have to be smart to exploit a switch like that, you know? And at that point, at a certain point, it should send a message to the opposing team, hey, if you switch off me, I'm going to exploit you every time. My problem with the modern defense is that the scheme is a scheme and we're sticking with it. You know what I mean? I don't see too many defensive adjustments when it comes to these types of scenarios where you got to be able to go, okay, he's killing us on these switches. Stop the switching. Who's gonna lay down on him? Like, who's gonna just lock down on Luka and not let him breathe? Or LeBron, or whatever the case may be, especially in these situations now, because we got LeBron is going to be playing more off ball with Luka in town. So someone's got to just stay on LeBron the entire time. You know what I mean? He's going to be more of like a Steph Curry role. Probably, I mean, not nearly to the success, but the same kind of thing, like a Steph Curry, or Reggie Miller, or Ray Allen. He's going to be running through the middle, you know, from one side of the court to the other side. And if you don't stick with them and you're relying on switching, he's going to get wide open plenty of times. So I'm curious to see how defenses are going to handle this. Are they going to stay stubborn and stick with the scheme? Or are they going to know we're being exploited? We need to lock down on these two. You know, at least those two guys. You need a body on them at all times. Don't switch off. Stay on them. But that's just the way I see it. I grew up with old school basketball where zone defense was only in college and it was man-to-man in the NBA. And I see less of these defensive slip-ups when it came to man-to-man. And I'm not saying zone is bad or anything like that. Zone is great, but I think you need to pick and choose when to use it. And certain teams, because of the matchups, you can use it, and other teams, because of the matchup, you have to go man-to-man. And one thing I'm not seeing in the modern game is man-to-man. So I think it's good to have the option. I'm glad we have zone in the game, but I think we need to pick and choose when we use it, you know? So anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it. What do I think is going to happen? I don't know. After watching this, I think a lot of it depends on the on the defense and what these coaches are going to figure out as to how to stop these guys. Because, yeah, it's not just Luka you got to lock down on. It's everybody else, because if people are running through screens down the middle of the court, you know, from sideline to sideline, and everyone is switching, Luka's gonna find the gap. You know, he's gonna be able to exploit it, and you know, you give him an inch of breathing room, he's gonna make that pass. It's kind of like Magic was. You give him an inch, he's gonna make that pass. And with Luka, if you don't give him that, you still need somebody to stick on him man to man, because if you're gonna do a pick and a switch, he's gonna exploit you right there by himself, and he'll do the scoring. So, all right, I guess that's all I have to say about it, you guys. Basketball season's back, huh? Let's go. I hope it's a good one. I hope it's a good one. I heard a couple of new rules got implemented this year as far as protecting the shooter. I'm not really disagreeing with it, because it involves letting the shooter follow through on their motion without getting smacked in the hand. And honestly, I'm always okay with that. You know what I mean? If you're going to foul the shooter's hand in their shooting hand during their motion, yeah, that should be a foul. So far, the only new rules, I don't see them as too bad. We'll see how they get implemented in the NBA. All I hope is it doesn't get softer. But there's only one way to find out, you guys. Thanks for watching. I don't know what this video was, but it was not what I was expecting. I was not talking about what I was expecting to talk about, but I was spending the first half of the video just watching everything until I hit a boiling point. And I'm like, I can't watch it and not point it out. Like, that's my job here. So, all right, guys, I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Like the vid, share it with a friend if you agree with what I'm saying. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, feel free to put it down in the comments. You know, we always have a good conversation around here. I'm open-minded as long as you are, you know, but if you come at me like an asshole, then I'm just going to ignore you. So, you know, want to have a conversation, we have a conversation. Guys, subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Hit that subscribe plus if you want to support me and or support the channel. And most importantly, is to be water, my friends.